I love this story. Mitt Romney keeps calling President Obama's policies too Harvard faculty lounge, meaning they're too academic, not real world enough. But Romney actually holds 2 degrees from Harvard. 3 of his kids went there, and he's gotten more than $56,000 from the school. Yeah, so, time to let the Willis watchdogs out. George Jarkesy is the chairman for the National Eagles and Angels Association in Houston. Amelia Antonetti is the chairman and CEO of AMA Productions. And Fox Business's Sandra Smith joins us from the newsroom. George, let's start with you. What do you make of this? This just blows me away, this story.
I'll tell you, everybody's getting their information from Harvard, from the Democrats and the Republicans. I think what we should do is go to the Harvard faculty, get one of them to run for president, and then we can get behind that idea.
All right. Amelia, what do you say?
I think it's funny that people don't think the rules apply to them. I think this is more and more of this continues to come out in politics, that they say one thing and they do another.
Right, exactly. Sandra, what do you say? Did you go to Harvard, Sandra?
Unfortunately, Jerry, no, I didn't. And, you know, I'm going to
You could be Treasury Secretary. Or...
I am going to take the other side of this, and I'm going to say I don't think there's anything wrong with what he's doing. I mean, in fact, I would rather somebody knock the information coming from the Harvard faculty lounge as long as they knew what was going on at Harvard. He went to Harvard, but the difference between him and Obama, another Harvard graduate, is that he actually went out into the real world and got a job and became a CEO of a company and was in business. So he knows both sides here, and he's saying, hey, you can't just take what happens in the classroom and apply it to the real world. You've got to live in the real world and try to apply those things. So I'm going to defend him a little bit here.
And so the kids are in the real world, and they went to Harvard. It goes, fascinating. You make a great point, Sandra.
Thank you.
All right. Do you curse the morning rush? Do you hate it? Residents of Washington, D.C. face the worst traffic in the country, and yet latest studies reveal gridlock is a good thing. When the traffic is bad, that means people are on their way to work. Amelia, just sounds so logical.
It does. And you know what? This is where we have to really get the glasses more half full than we realize. I mean, if you have a job and it's steady and it's secure and you're being able to provide for your family, you have to think that there's millions of people who no longer have that privilege.
Now, Sandra, you're one of those people who never actually goes home. You just stay here all the time. So we have to explain this story to you.
Yeah, I don't go far, that's for sure. But I will say that there's definitely something to this, and maybe something in addition to this that makes the traffic worse when people are working, is right now a lot of folks are traveling farther to get to jobs because they're not finding work close to home, and so they are hitting the road, and they're on the road longer than they normally would be with jobs in easier times.
George, what do you say?
Well, I like what Sandra has said, but also I think that when you look at Washington, the business of Washington is big government, and so they're complaining about gridlock. It's pretty relevant that government has grown 5 times as much in the last 40 years, and so I think it's a lot of our big government there causing the gridlock in Washington.
And you know, it's the only housing market that's working, and for the same reason, big government. All right. This story's good, too. All that hitting the gym, tanning, laundry must be pretty taxing on the cast of Jersey Shore, if you ever watched that TV show. But New Jersey Governor Chris Christie isn't giving them a break. Christie just blocked a $420,000 tax credit that would help the Jersey Shore production company fund its 2009 season. He says he refuses to let taxpayers cover a project that does nothing more than, quote, perpetuate misconceptions about the state and its citizens. Sandra, you buying that?
Yeah, you know, really what Governor Christie's saying is that the short-term gain from this is just not worth the longer-term risk of associating a town and a state with this type of show. It could be very short-lived, and, you know, GTL, Gym Tan Laundry, it can only stimulate the economy for so long, Jerry.
But, Amelia, let me ask you this question. Okay, isn't Chris Christie kind of telling people what to put on TV? He's saying, I'll fund this, I won't fund that.
I mean, absolutely. You can say it that way. That's what he's trying to do. I think he's trying to defend his character and really defend his state more than anything else, because it is getting such a bad rap that people have a misconception about what Jersey's all about. So I love the fact that he's willing to stand up and put his money where his mouth is.
George, does nobody care about free speech here? I mean, you know, there's a law on the books, and it says we give you a tax break when you set up a business here. Why should this company be any different?
Jerry, come on. Free speech gives way to politics all the time, and this is nothing but politics.
No, it doesn't. When does it do that?
Governor Christie is contemplating maybe running for president, and he doesn't want that from his state on TV, that are his voters there, that comes from his state. He just doesn't want that out in front of his political career.
Not his people.
George, now you got me fired up. I was on your side to begin with. Now I'm on the other side, okay? Good job, actually. All right, here's another story that'll appeal to the women. A new birth control for men might soon be a reality. Just one injection, one shot that's 100% effective, and that would protect you for an entire decade. It's already in clinical trials and could be available in the U.S. in just a few short years. George, you're the fella. What do you think?
Well, I got to tell you, it's a big problem for America. America is barely holding on to a population right now, and actually in the next couple decades our population will shrink. And so we don't want to follow Japan, we don't want to follow Europe, and so we need families to have more kids and to grow our country. If the population goes down, so does the GDP.
So you don't like the shot? Is that it?
No.
No?
I
Okay,
don't.
so you're anti. All right. I get that.
Yes.
Well, unfortunately, we have to leave it there. Thanks, George, Amelia, and Sandra.
you.
Great job,
Thank you.
guys. Loved your panel. All right.